Hey Deli, all right, we're trying this again. I just recorded a very nice video for you, and then my internet conked out and the video didn't save. So anyway, let me try this again. All right, I've been keeping tabs on your ads this week, and just want to share with you what I'm seeing, wins that we're seeing, and yeah, just help you kind of get an eye for what should you be looking out for. All right, so both Dimensional Flowers and the Fine Art Print campaigns, they have each clocked one purchase, which is great because these have only been running for a few days. If you were full on in the agency, I would let you know that we need several weeks worth of data before we can establish what I would consider to be a baseline of like, okay, what is that cost per purchase? What creative is really resonating? You've been doing this long enough that you already know, like you're like, hey, the Mantlescape really works well. Videos of me really work well. But just wanted to share with you that I'm giving you my thoughts after your first few days worth of data, but really it should be weeks and weeks before we're like, okay, this is a definite direction we're going or not. So let's dive into each of these. So of course I'm looking to see our purchases being tracked, but there are so many steps before that that we need to look at to understand, is everything shaking out the way it should? We have a bunch of really, really good signs. So first thing I look at is our link click-through rate, the rate at which someone's seeing an ad and then making a purchase. And I like this to be above a 1%, and you're sitting well above this, which is great. This is, I mean, an extremely strong link click-through rate. So I'm very happy with this. Next, we're going to go on over, make sure that people are adding to cart. If they weren't adding to cart, that could show us they're either not interested in the product pages need some work, we're not sending people to the right destination, but this is all looking really good. Now, one thing I'm looking at here is we've had a lot more adds to cart for your Dimensional Flower campaign versus your Fine Art Print campaign. And they're also at a lower cost, which is interesting, because your Fine Art Prints obviously are at a much lower price point than the Dimensional Flowers. So this is just something that we'll keep tabs on. I would like this cost per add to cart to go down. But again, your ads have only been running for a few days, so we're not going to sweat this too much. Instead, what we're going to do is make sure, okay, people are adding to cart, and now they are initiating checkout. So after people click add to cart, then they open up their cart, they begin the checkout process. We want to see about half of these people finishing their order, which is exactly what we've seen for your account. So I'm really happy with the health of how people are finding your product, adding it to cart, initiating checkout, and purchasing. So of the 5 people who have initiated checkout, 2 of them have made their purchase, which is perfect. Between 2 and 3 people is what I would like to see. So I have no concerns there. All right, I want to talk about the difference in why this ad has such a higher return and this one has a lower return. You might already be able to pick up on this, but the average order value is what makes that difference. Take a look at this. Your Fine Art Prints, of course, those are the more affordable price point. The person who made a purchase, it was for $45. Whoever purchased the Dimensional Flowers, they spent $202. So this is probably going to be our easier win long term. That's just my projection. Again, we would need several weeks worth of data here before we can, draw any large conclusions, but this is something that we will continue keeping tabs on because it's so much easier to make back your money if someone's spending $200 with you than if someone's only spending $45. So our return, of course, when we look at this, we're like, yikes, not good. Again, it's only a few days worth of information, so I am not putting too much weight on this at all. And in fact, I think it's extremely important to come on in and actually take a look at the ads themselves. So the ad that clocked your purchases right here, it had a 3.4 times return. Fantastic for just a couple days worth of it running. That looks really great. So we're not going to make any changes to these ads here right now. I'm going to keep all of these running. I would like us impression-wise to have a couple thousand impressions on each ad before deciding if we're going to turn it off or not. That's kind of a blanket statement, but that's where I want you to keep your eyes. Sometimes 1,500. Yeah, 1,500 to 2,000 is kind of that range. So this ad is doing great. Let's say that this was at about 2,000, had a couple hundred more impressions and no purchases, and the cost per add to cart was really high. I would turn it off, but that's not the case. It's doing really well. So we're going to keep that up and running. And also too, if you want to see the average order value, I want you to come on over here to reporting. Excuse me, to the columns. I titled mine reporting, but drop this on down. Click on customize columns. Type in the word average. Average purchases conversion value, and then click save. I had just renamed mine AOV, but anyway, so then I titled my report here reporting, so that way I can just quickly jump in and grab whatever columns I want. View your column presets. So you can set up custom reporting if we haven't set that up for you already. And that's where I go ahead and I say, yeah, I want adds to cart, cost per add to cart, initiate checkout. I set all of that up right in here. Add to cart, cost per add to cart, you can type in purchases, etc. Purchases, the purchase value, save. Then you have those. And let's take a quick peek over at your fine art prints and see how those are going. Alrighty, so yeah, all right, so your Costa Brava, great. We had 5 adds to cart, 2 initiate checkout. One of those people ended up purchasing, and we didn't break even on that sale. And again, that's probably because the ad is still very new, but more likely because of the $45 average order value. So I don't know yet if you have installed the app that we discussed on our call earlier this week, but really working on getting people to buy more than one item from you. Actually, I can take a peek right now. Let's see here. Great, perfect. This looks wonderful. So it'll be interesting to see as we get more people purchasing and coming through to your site, when they're shown this pop-up, you know, how does that help? How does that help with that average order value? And I know you and I discussed as well, playing around with the free shipping threshold, basically requiring maybe something like, you know, that they buy 2 prints from you in order for them to get free shipping, or 3 prints. You know, you can figure out what is that price point, but I think that's something to play around with in the future, because that could help your ads. You know, if we're able to increase that order value from $45 to, on average, people are spending $90. If the order value is twice as high, your return would be too. So it's just kind of fun looking at all those minor tweaks that we can make. All right. So with this too, just want to see, is there anything that we want to turn off quite yet? Probably not, because this really has not been running for too long. Okay, so this one does have, yeah, so our reach is at, it's getting close, but yeah, we'll let this run in a couple days. Again, if this is getting up closer to 2,000, we haven't clocked another purchase yet. Let's manually turn that off here and let some of the impressions feed on out to your other ads. So anyway, I'm really excited. I think this is a fantastic start here, and we just need to give this some more time. Really, several weeks is where we need to be in order to understand, okay, bigger picture, are we running ads to dimensional flowers long term? Are we adding are we running ads to your lower price point products? And, you know, let me take a peek at retargeting as well, just make sure that everything's looking fine there. Okay. Yep, your link click-through rate looks good. We'll keep tabs on this. So we've got your catalog ad in here. And I just want to see, so we've only had one person add to cart so far. So we'll keep an eye on this. If we continue to see, like, let's say over the weekend, we're not getting too many more adds to cart, we may consider pausing your retargeting for the time being, just because there is some retargeting that's already happening in these 2 campaigns. I just wanted this, I just wanted to give this a shot and see what happens when we start right out the gate with it, but we may end up turning that off and kind of saving that $15 a day and waiting until we've sent more traffic to your site. All right, thanks.